Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. Today, we've got a story that could have major implications for the Detroit Lions' future, a potential move that's got fans buzzing, insiders speculating, and the entire league watching closely. Big news is brewing for the Lions, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around because what's happening could seriously shift the team's draft strategy and even reshape the offensive line. How will this impact our starting lineup? Could it hint at even bigger moves coming this offseason? Let's dive deep into all of it together. During the recent league meetings down in Palm Beach, head coach Dan Campbell dropped a bit of a bombshell that immediately set the Detroit Lions fan base on fire with speculation. In a casual, almost offhand comment, Campbell mentioned that the team is considering a position change for one of our most intriguing young prospects, Giovani Manu. Now, if you've been following the Lions' development pipeline, you know exactly who Manu is, the massive, incredibly athletic Canadian project we traded up to grab last year. Ever since he arrived in Detroit, there's been a quiet sense of excitement around him. Sure, he was raw. Sure, he was relatively new to high-level football, but his potential? Absolutely through the roof. What makes this so fascinating is that Campbell hinted at moving Manu from tackle to guard, a switch that, on paper, sounds small. But when you think about the ripple effects, it could completely transform the offensive line and even the entire offense's dynamic. Could this mean the Lions are preparing for a future without some of their established veterans? Is it possible that Manu could develop into a dominant interior lineman even faster than he would have as a tackle? Fans are already wondering if this could be the beginning of a new, more physically dominant identity for Detroit's offense. Let's rewind a little. When the Lions first drafted Manu, there were already quiet whispers among insiders that the team had initially graded him as a potential right guard. Even though they start him out at tackle to maximize his development curve, it's clear now that the coaching staff has kept the idea of him moving inside on the table this whole time. After a redshirt year, during which reports say Manu made tremendous strides in understanding the game, improving his technique, and building the physical foundation necessary to succeed at the professional level, it seems the Lions believe he's ready for a new challenge. And honestly, when you really think about it, the move makes a lot of sense. Manu has the kind of rare athleticism and size that could make him an absolute nightmare for defenders trying to beat him on the inside. Imagine the push he could generate in the running game, creating those massive lanes for Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to burst through. Imagine the added protection up the middle for Jared Goff or whoever is under center in the future. A dominant guard like Manu could be a foundational piece, the kind of player that sets the tone for the entire offense. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Moving Manu to guard could also unlock huge strategic flexibility for the Lions heading into the draft. If Manu can hold down an interior spot, the team could shift its focus toward finding a long-term answer at tackle, potentially even targeting a prospect who could eventually replace veteran Taylor Decker. Is it possible that the Lions are quietly setting up a succession plan for their offensive line without making a lot of noise about it? Some insiders believe that's exactly what's happening. Of course, there are risks. Shifting a young, still developing player to a new position isn't a guaranteed success story. There's a real question about whether Manu's skills, while impressive, will translate seamlessly to the guard position, which demands a different kind of footwork, leverage, and vision compared to tackle. And considering the fact that he's still relatively inexperienced overall, is it really the best idea to ask him to learn yet another set of techniques so early in his career? It's a fascinating gamble, and it shows just how confident this coaching staff is in Manu's upside. Fans are already divided on the idea. Some are thrilled at the possibility of having a high-upside, athletic freak lining up inside and helping to dominate the trenches. Others are worried that moving him around too much could stunt his development. And honestly, I get both sides. It's an exciting but nerve-wracking move, and we'll have to watch very closely in training camp and the preseason to see how it plays out. Will he rise to the challenge and earn a starting job? Or will the growing pains be too much too soon? Meanwhile, the Lions had another storyline emerge during these same league meetings, and this one didn't bring much cause for celebration. Detroit pushed for several rule changes that they believed would make the game fairer and better reflect the realities of gameplay today, but unfortunately, their proposals were shut down. The biggest one, a move to eliminate automatic first downs for defensive holding and illegal contact penalties. If you've watched enough Lions games, or honestly, enough NFL games in general, you know how frustrating it can be when a drive is extended by a ticky-tack penalty that feels completely disproportionate to the actual infraction. Campbell made an impassioned argument for the change, highlighting how unfair it can be when a minor hand check 6 yards downfield results in an automatic first down on, say, a 3rd and 18. Instead of forcing the offense to earn their yards, they're gifted a fresh set of downs, often flipping the momentum of an entire game. It's maddening, and Campbell's frustration was obvious in every word he spoke. Brandon Beane, the Bills' general manager, voiced the counterargument. He worried that without the threat of an automatic first down, defenses might get more aggressive and handsy, knowing that the consequences would be less severe. It's a valid concern, and you can see how a rule meant to fix one problem might accidentally create another. Still, from a fairness standpoint, you have to wonder if the league missed an opportunity here. But that wasn't the only change the Lions proposed. They also pushed for playoff seeding to be based on overall record instead of divisional standings, a move that would have made the postseason race more merit-based and arguably more exciting. There was a little more optimism that this change could gain traction in the future, but for now it's been tabled. Not dead, just delayed. Finally, Detroit suggested allowing teams to keep players on injured reserve without counting them against the 90-man roster limit during the preseason, a small but smart tweak that would help teams manage their rosters more effectively. That proposal has been archived for now, though it might pop back up next year. So where does all this leave us? Honestly, it's a bit of a mixed bag. On one hand, it's frustrating that Detroit's attempts to modernize and improve the game fell short. But on the other, the fact that ideas like playoff reseeding are even being discussed at the league level shows that the Lions' voice is growing louder in league matters. They're no longer an afterthought, they're a team with real influence, and that's an exciting place to be. But I want to hear from you, Lions fans. What do you think about the potential move of Giovani Manu to guard? Do you love the idea of unleashing his athleticism inside, or are you worried that it's too much too soon? And what about the league shutting down the Lions rule proposals? Do you think the NFL made the right call? Or did they miss a huge opportunity to make the game fairer and more exciting? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Personally, I'm pumped about the idea of Manu moving to guard. I think the upside is just too tantalizing to ignore, and if he can adapt, he could be a cornerstone for this offensive line for years to come. As for the rule changes, it's disappointing, no doubt about it. But I believe the Lions are showing the kind of forward-thinking leadership that's going to serve them well, both on and off the field. We're just getting started, and I can't wait to see where this team goes next. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got a big year ahead, and you're not going to want to miss a second of it. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!